Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment. Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment class. I'm Loren Gailey with Lori Rayon. We are talking about healing with dolphins. Yes, yes, yes. It is possible and it is happening. Hi, Lori.
Hi. So excited to be here.
Yes, we're going to learn a little bit more about this, healing with the dolphins. Let's talk first about who are the dolphins. Tell us more about their consciousness.
Okay. Well, the dolphins to me are wisdom teachers. You know, they live absolutely and totally authentically. And in my world, they're super sentient beings. They have advanced consciousness from their 30 million years of experience. And they've come to the planet to assist us in activating those parts of us that have been dormant, that are wanting to wake up, so to speak. So, in fact, I have a little channel I'm going to share with you just to get us started, where we asked the dolphins, who are you really? And this is what they said. So, and I'm going to give you some beautiful footage to look at of the dolphins in Bimini from one of our beautiful retreats. So here we go. So the dolphins are the ambassadors and the embodiments of joy. They represent the positive feeling, emotional states of happiness, passion, love, joy, family, and purpose. They are the ambassadors to humanity, assisting us in finding and living those qualities within ourselves. So when you connect to the dolphins, they ask each of us to go inward to find that part of ourselves that connects us to our hearts. They ask us to connect with the divinity within ourselves and then connect with your soul. Now, the soul is the immortal, eternal self. It's the part of you that is driving the physical vehicle that you're in now, and it's always connected to the divinity within you. They remind us that the soul is the consciousness that we incarnated from and that we will ultimately return to. Our physical bodies are just an expression of that part of us that embodies a higher power and a consciousness. Our souls want nothing more of us than in the physical to be happy and live a joyful and merry, magical life. It's only through creating joyful feelings can we achieve a higher vibration and can truly connect to and communicate with our higher selves. So the dolphin's message to humanity is quite simply to become aware of how easy it is to monitor your thought forms and make a new choice to change them if you find your thoughts anything other than joyful. Simple, but profound. Remember, to think is to create, and we are the creators and the co-creators of the world in which we live. The dolphins say, may you find great love and joy in your hearts as you connect with us, and then go out and find a way to share it with another. Thank you, dolphins. We love you so much. What you're seeing is pictures of a beautiful retreat that we go to Bimini, that's in the Bahamas, to swim with the live, wild and free dolphins. Yeah, it's been 2 years since we've been able to do that. So we're going to go back in September. A group of people that want to swim with dolphins. Exciting, huh?
That is exciting. And what a great reunion, Lori, when we
Yes,
are all able to move on the planet again and see one another and be in one
yes,
another's presence.
yes,
Magical.
yes. Yes, the dolphins want you to know, though, that they're in all the oceans all over the world, different species of dolphins, but the dolphins you just looked at um, are often considered the friendliest dolphins in the world, and they're called the Atlantic spotted dolphins. And so intelligent, so incredibly loving. And they come to the boat and they just want to be with us. They want to share. They use their clicks and their clacks and all that to tune you up. So you just feel so fabulous, after you get out of the water with them. But they also want you to know that you don't have to get into the water with dolphins to experience their healing and to experience their wisdom. So this is why we do the workshops. They're happy to come to your home in their etheric body. In fact, right now I'm sitting looking out my window at my home where my pool is, and I can see etheric dolphins swimming in my pool. They're moving the water, they're moving a beach ball around. They very much live here in the pool, and you can see their noses and their tails and their etheric bodies. And when it first happened, I thought I was losing my mind. I thought there's ghosts in the pool. I don't know what I thought, but it was kind of funny until I learned that they were just with me all the time because I decided to be a voice for them when they asked me. And of course, it's nothing more fun than getting in the water and they're swirling all around you in their etheric bodies and tickling you, and it's fun. So, if you have a pool or a jacuzzi or a big pool of water of any kind, even if it's a natural pool, you can invite them in and you'll see them move the water. You will. It's pretty fun.
I've seen that at Lake Washita in Arkansas, actually, quite amazing.
It is.
So, there's a question that I'm hearing for those who don't know how to work with the dolphins. How would we call them in?
Very nice. Well, they respond to your heart emanation. So, for an example, would be if I went out to the pool and I was in a bad mood, or I had some kind of negative thoughts running through me, or I was fearful of something, they probably wouldn't come, or I wouldn't see them as much. They respond to joy because they are the joy ambassadors. So they want you to lift yourself up into positive thinking, positive doings. In fact, my partner, Master Puda, and the dolphins say, all the animals say, if it isn't loving, don't think it, don't say it, don't do it, don't walk it, don't talk it, don't fax it, don't type it. If it isn't loving, you don't have any business with that energy. If you really want to be the true self that you are and to manifest that, the different intentions and prayers that you have, we don't manifest very well when we're negative. We pretty much just go into some kind of cycle, until we can find a way to clear it. So as we evolve in consciousness, like the dolphins, you can catch yourself. If you find your vibration dropping, you can stop and say, oh, don't do that. Go outside, put your feet on the grass, look at the sun. And in the case of your question, call in the dolphins and say, please help me. And you'll find that you'll have 3 dolphins around you almost instantly. Everybody does. And it's just, there's enough dolphins for everybody, is my point. And they'll come and they'll cheer you up and they'll speak with you if you'll allow it. It's about opening your consciousness to this telepathic link that we have to what we call higher consciousness. All of the animals, the angels, the guides, the dolphins and whales, they all talk all the time. They're all talking, but they're using their telepathic abilities, which is, of course, a higher form of language rather than the verbal. Now, they do have a verbal language too, though. Each dolphin has a whistle and a signal that's in the physical form. And that's when they call each other, they call out with a particular whistle, which is like me saying, hey, Loren, so they know each other from that too. But that's the physical form, okay? And that's just a part of who they are. And they're here to teach us that. Same with us. The physical part of us is just a very small part of who we really are. And when we connect to the higher consciousness, we can use the power of light to change everything. And they are emissaries of light. They said that they can use their light bodies, which is their living Merkaba field, to come and join with yours and come into the room and move around you and offer you more light so that your cells can resonate with this higher frequency. They partner with you in that way. So they've said that the emotional codes of mastery and those of pain and negativity are all stored in the DNA. So would you like to meet, what we would call the most amazing doctors on the planet, which are the dolphins, to come and be very motivated and enthusiastic about helping you clear all your negativity, take the rocks out of your backpack, so to speak, and forget, and move on into that which you're really here to do. They work with all 12 strands of our DNA, which is what Master Buddha would say is the avatar blueprint. It's quite amazing, really. They access your Akashic records, which is the recorded journey of your soul over every lifetime. So unlimited potential for joy, happiness, health, and healing. And you can ask them anything. They're just so wise.
I know that those watching and listening are actually calling on the dolphins now.
Yeah.
And I thank you for sharing and reminding us that we each have 3 around us at any given time. I just want to share this shifting, going inward, connecting with the heart, connecting with the soul, becoming aware of the thought forms, and making a shift if we're not in joy. I just want to share, last week there was an experience where I laughed out of something. It was like joy, and it should have, we hit a rut in the road. And why would you think that that was funny? But that was the only thing that I could think of doing. We couldn't veer off to the side. We just had to go right through that rut, and bam. And it was just, my husband's like, why are you laughing? And it's like, what else is there to do? And that's what the dolphins bring us. I feel very connected to the dolphins in that way, because it is that joy. So beautiful.
They're always telling us that there isn't really anything on earth that they haven't experienced, because they're so much older than we are, and their brain is evolved to have this huge brainstem where we don't yet, so they don't experience duality in the way that we do. They don't experience a right and a wrong, or a left and a right, or a connection to a choice that would be negative as opposed to positive. They only experience, unless there would be some kind of abuse, and the only real abuse they experience is mankind's nets that would trap them. And then, of course, that would create fear in their body, and then their vibration would drop, as any species would. But other than that, other than what we do to them, or trap them and kill them, in some cases, people are still doing that. They live joyful, happy lives, and they create every moment of their reality. So they don't have this, rock and roll or roller coaster ride that we have with our emotions. They're just up, 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 and continuing to evolve from that place. So that's when they tell me, there isn't anything that you can bring to us here in the experiential world that we haven't already experienced and transcended. And that's the message to us. There isn't anything that you would co-create, because you're the creator of your own reality, even if you're not conscious of it yet. There's not anything you're going to put in front of yourself to do that you can't achieve. The way through is the challenge is to say, I can, I will, I am, as opposed to shrink back, right, in fear. That's the way through. And they've done that. So have the whales. They've done that for millions of years. So that makes them a good choice for our creator to send them to the planet and say, okay, you're coming, you're the raw cheerleaders. You got to help these people. Some of them are just so sad. We need to lift them up and help them remember who they are. And that way they can claim their gifts and become very empowered. And so it's a very accelerated path. Like when the classes I teach, in just a short time, you can see a lot of difference. And it's not from Lori, okay? It's from the dolphins. I just happen to have worked for many years to achieve a telepathic link with them, and maybe you have too, to where I can hear them. So it makes me a good emissary for them to pass their messages on. But it's really their vibration that's coded to change your DNA, literally change it. They go into all of that in our school that we have, which is how they actually alter the telomeres, which is, so they're sort of the masters of anti-aging, of healing something that's a malady, of helping you drop an emotional block and forgive. And they're so gentle. I was just working last week with a woman with what we call layer 2 of the DNA, which is all about the emotions. And she was able to release, really deep-seated fears and pain that she'd held, some of it conscious, some of it unconscious, from relationships she's had that went clear back to her mother. And the dolphins I was just amazed. I mean, they just do it so well and with such grace. And I guess that's, one of the things we've forgotten. It doesn't have to be difficult to forgive or to move past something that you've held on to. It's like where you had an expectation of someone and their poor parenting skills, or their poor, relationship skills with boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. All of that. It all can be released, and everybody gets a brand new day. Isn't that nice? It's like just scrub it clean,
Scrub it clean. Yes.
Yeah.
Change those dirty jeans.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we're all walking around in dirty jeans. Yeah.
So it's amazing what they can do. And in the meantime, they're swimming in all the oceans of the world, realigning the energies, the ley lines, working with the whales, working with creator, working with light and undersea, portals and bases and stuff that are all our emissaries also of light that are here to help us. We're so supported. And in the way the world is structured today here in 3D, it doesn't take long to get sidelined if you want to turn on the news or you want to go have a conversation down at the little cafe or somewhere and people are talking about war, negativity, and hurting each other and all of that. And I'm not saying that doesn't exist. That's not my point. But what I'm saying is in their world, they're here living their lives in fullness and joy on the planet that has war. You can do the same. You don't have to participate. Okay. And to be completely honest, we're not here. If you're in your mastery with like the dolphins are, you're not really here to tell other people how to live. And that includes, I'm sorry to say, hurting each other. Other people still are here. It's hard to hear. They're here to hurt each other. That's still part of their contract. They're still growing in some way from the challenge of pain, of harm. And that's not going to last much longer. I think we all know that. We're coming to the end of that. But the people that are still immersed in those contracts of I'm going to call it control, where they believe they're here to control others, I don't think they're going to let go of them in this lifetime. I think they're going to have to perish with that contract and come back again. But that's my personal opinion. I don't have proof of that. I know anybody can change, and that certainly just starts with anybody that would be interested in my courses. Is I want you to believe that you can change and that you can change very quickly and come back to joy and live among the people that are still causing harm and fear without letting that penetrate your world. Does that make sense? That you can still be in your own sovereignty, in your own frequency. And we can send love to them, which will absolutely make a difference. But we're not here to control them or tell them they're wrong or right. We're here to live our lives in joy and not let anything get in the way of that in the sense of your personal choices, your personal frequency. And if every human does that, my partner put it, she says, if everyone would do that every day, all day long, that will literally take up the rest of your life. You'll be working on you and why you're here and your own mastery, your own empowerment, your own ability to assist, to bring more light, which is wisdom, to this planet to help others. And instead of trying to go and, like stand up on a soapbox and preach and say, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you should do it my way. That's not going to work. They don't want to hear that any more than you want to hear somebody tell you you're wrong. So let's move out of right and wrong. Yes. And that literally is the duality of the planet that we're transcending to. What if everybody is right in their own space for their contract, for where they are? What if that's right for them? And that was really hard for me to say that to you or for me to even hear that. But I really learned that from Master Fuda. There was a day where she came and she said, you have to stop judging other people or I can't stay and work with you. You see, my contract is pure. And that's because I'm an animal. So I have to work with purity or I can't get my message out there as the soul of Seth, so to speak. That's her mission. And same with the dolphins. They can't come to you in pure positive energy, pure light, if they're diffused with, well, maybe I can, maybe I can't, maybe I can, maybe I can't, or I don't like that guy over there. I don't like what they're doing. That's not going to work. Okay. So she said, you really, in almost like a yelling voice, she said to me, how dare you judge another person on the earth plane from your earth body? How dare you? You have no idea what they're doing. And you know what? You have no business even thinking about what they're doing because it's what they're doing. It's not what you're doing. Okay. So turn that back around and bring it back to what can I do today? What's the highest thing I can do today? What's the best thing I can do today? How can I help others today? And it starts right here at home. It starts right here with the choices you make and knowing that that's enough. If every person did that, imagine how the world would change because every person would commit to their part of it. It's like putting your piece in the puzzle. Dolphins are masters of that. They've got all the puzzles figured out. They're all put together. We have to find a way to put our piece in and to be authentic with that and to be okay with that. So obviously there's things to transcend. One of the great things they're here to help you with, and we all need this, all of us, is self-love. Our society and our culture has beat us up with competition and the emotion of worthiness, of being good enough or capable or okay. And I'm sorry to say our religions and our school systems, our government systems have beat us up with teaching us, fall on your knees. You're not good enough. It's not true. I'm sorry. It's not true at all. Every single being on this planet is divine. every single one. And I have a little quote from the dolphins. Let me find it about that. They may not be acting like it, but that doesn't mean that they aren't that. So, yeah, this is what they've said. There are 4 evolutionary principles that apply to all beings on planet Earth. Embrace the human purpose, therefore examining your true life purpose and why you chose to incarnate in the evolutionary spiral at this time. Number 2, at the core of every being, all have divine essence, which is goodness and love. Okay? Number 3, free will is an absolute and universal right on this planet. Own that. Own your free will. And number 4, all of natural life and its existence here on the planet is sacred. All of us are sacred. So if we can implement those principles every day, the world would change very quickly. And again, you only have to do you. Okay, you only have to do your part in being the best, whatever it is you are. You know, the best wife, or the best husband, or the best teacher, the best parent, the best friend, the best friend to your animal compadres here. You know, that's all we have to do, is be the best example we can be. And love is always the answer. Love is what changes the vibration of everything, physically and emotionally, spiritually. I want you to say hi to somebody here.
This is Puda. Hi, Puda.
She's saying, can you hear me? I'm talking to you.
Was sending us
an
an
example of some people are already receiving that message, and other people are like, what's she saying? What's she saying? We have to work on that. So we open those channels of the prana that flows from our heart right up here to our third eye, our pineal gland. The dolphins will help us with that too, so that we can be so much better in our communications, and we can learn, well, I shouldn't say learn, we can remember how to share differently. Don't you think that's really the essence of the problems on our planet, is we don't really share properly? There's always been enough food, and enough blankets, enough medicine, enough water, and enough everything, and we don't really distribute it properly. And
unless there's a disaster, we can do it in a disaster, right?
You think we could do it every day, right? I mean, there's
That's
enough.
my dream. That's my vision of New Earth, right? A bed for every human. We'll just leave it at that. Well, listening to you, this is beautiful, because it really is the definition of sovereignty. And I heard the phrase, what if everybody's right and nobody's wrong? And no judgment, just no judgment. Even
We need to get away from right and wrong, you know, just get away from that concept of right and wrong, and just go into what's best in the moment. Where's the highest vibration I can go, using the power of some kind of love, self-love, unconditional love, love of service, you know, love of all the different things that you have in your life that you love. Apply that to yourself, and you'll have an awesome day, you know, right? One day after another.
Beautiful. Well, the dolphins are here helping us amplify love. They've been here 30 million years, and they've seen so much on this planet that they've transcended that. Even when we hear the harsh news of people killing dolphins, or dolphins beaching themselves for mysterious reasons, we don't know, but we can find a peace at that, or a peace in that. So tell us about your course, Healing with Dolphins. This is coming up and we're excited for it. What are people going to learn?
Well, it's going to be a 4-week course, meeting 4 Thursdays for a couple of hours. And we're going to navigate through some different communications, similar to what we're doing now, but in more depth, to what the dolphins would have to share with us at the basic level of how to improve our lives just on a day-to-day level. And then moving into higher consciousness, which is really where you want to be. To communicate with them. They're going to very much open up themselves to communicate with you, so you can receive messages too. So here's one of the things they said: we are the dolphins, we are unified, we are synchronized, and we are communicative. Okay, we seek to connect with you, and when you're ready, to help you remember more. So that will be part of the course, to remember more about who you are. No one's from Earth. We always talk about that in our classes. We're here on Earth for various reasons, and they're of course very specific in our soul mission and what we're here to do as far as experience Earth as sort of a soul school. But the truth is everyone that's here is evolved. Okay. Everyone has already accomplished a lot from the perspective of living in a higher dimension. And we've sort of dumbed it down and put ourselves into amnesia here to have the earth experience and the awakening be a part of it. So, but our creator loves us so much that they put many beings on the planet that are already awake. They're not having to wake up. So, and of course, some of those are the dolphins, of the really high vibrational beings that can teach you. So we'll tap into that, the divine part of the dolphin, the multidimensional dolphin, the dolphin that's very much a part of the Pleiadian world and the Sirian world. And it has come to Earth with their contracts to assist us. So let's see what they said. This journey of remembering not only helps you, but it helps many others as well, because when your soul agreed to come here, the universal truths were just sort of put under the surface. It's not like you have far to go to remember the star lineage, the star family, the Earth mission, and what your part is within that. The dolphins are masters of that. I remember when one of the first times I was with Joan Ocean, and she's a friend and sort of a mentor for me. She's a co-author, lives on the Big Island. And she said she was so guided to go and work with the extraterrestrials that are benevolent. And she was so guided. And when she was already on the Big Island for a while, she said, "Where are they?" And the dolphin said, "It's us. We're the benevolent extraterrestrials, and you're here to work with us. We're the ones, Isn't that cool? It's like such a great revelation that these are the star beings. And they navigate, sometimes the dolphins in the pool, they'll be swimming all around. It's like thousands of them. It's like a pile, swirling in a pod, I guess you'd say. And then they'll say, "Goodbye." Whew. The whole pool just goes still. And I'll say, "Where did you go?" And they said, "Oh, we went to Sirius. We'll be back in about 6 minutes." And they went off planet, and then they come back, and then you can see a portal open. Actually, I have a video of it. I have to find it, and I can show it to you, Lorraine. And they come back in, and they usually bring their friends, and they're leaping and jumping, and they're just so happy, But they can move through the timelines, through the dimensions, and that's part of the work we'll do too. It's pretty fun. It might be out there for some of you, but it's very real. So they say if our message seems vague or confusing, it's not meant to be. We know there is some trust involved in your part in hearing, first of all, a woman channel the voice of the dolphins, but we remind you that any one of you can channel or speak with us if you choose it. You simply need to raise your vibration up to where you can hear us, and we'll be right there for you. We tell you we're waiting to communicate with you. We're waiting for more of you to call us into your physical world to offer you healing energy and the calibration of the highest vibration. So we ask you, what is it that you want? What is it that you desire? And what part of you do you want to heal? Because we're right there for you. If you look at the history of dolphins on the planet, we have a different history than human has. So you can see, if you just look at our history, that what we're saying is true. We've never, ever engaged in war. We've never engaged in any type of negativity. Dolphins have never been known to attack anyone. Only throughout the ages history, there's stories and stories and stories of dolphins coming to people that are stranded, to boats, to after a boat has sunk, to come and help someone, or even just a swimmer that's out there, maybe a little bit swam out a little too far, and the dolphin guides you back in. Okay, that's their history. They're super sentient beyond our knowledge, and they don't push that on you in a way that says you're not very smart. They just say, "Let me help you awaken to your vast intelligence, to your understanding and knowing of the stars and of the cosmic history that you're all a part of." So if we think of it as all the beings that are here to help the world evolve, ascend, if you will, this is where you want to spend your time. All of it, every day, okay? If somebody's doing something else, then just wish them well, send them love, but you don't need to engage in that. They're having a different journey, and quite honestly, they're probably going to go to a different planet than you are when this is over. So we kind of want to be with our pod, we want to be with our family, so that like-minded beings can come together to add more love to the planet, add more healing, and more opportunities for people that are just waking up, okay? Because, I think we can all agree that the smiling dolphin appeals to anybody. I've never heard anybody say, "I don't like dolphins."
Yes, and the images, the video that you showed in the beginning, just the smile on the face of the dolphin, it's just there. You can feel it, you can see it. And we've chatted about this many times, but those people who are on a boat, for anybody on a boat, the whole mainstream society on a boat, everyone is just elated by dolphins. And
they come to the boats, that's something everyone should put on your bucket list, is to go out on a boat at some point. and see them in the physical. It's not required, but it's so much fun. So
It's
much fun.
fun.
I live here because of that. We have more dolphins here if you want to come and visit me in Oceanside, Dana Point area than anywhere else in the world. That's why I live here. I can go out on a boat and see, just on a bad day, 200 dolphins. On a good day, I'll see 2,000.
And a dolphin stampede. I mean,
Yes, yes. Where there's so many dolphins, you can't see the water. I'm serious. They're just,
amazing.
everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, I get chills
They're
on
in,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
just amazing.
All right. Anything else you want to add about your class? We're going to end our video with another video, Dolphins and DNA, which has much more information about DNA and how that works,
Right, right.
epigenetics.
Well, the DNA that you have in your body is actually 12 strands. And
Yes.
science has only recognized 2 because that's all our instruments can see. So science will always be a little bit behind. But there's evidence of it in other ways in the quantum field. And the dolphins work with all 12 strands of your DNA. Not only that, they've described them, they've labeled them for me, maybe for you, so I can understand a little bit more about what they're doing. For example, as they say that the second strand of our DNA is our emotional body, so we work with that. Other strands of our DNA connect us back to Lemuria and to the origin of the planet and the true realms of when we came here as peacemakers. Parts of them are here to help you achieve your skills. An example would be Mr. John Lilly. He's passed over now, but he was a pioneer in the dolphin field, and we'll share a little bit of what he accomplished, and you can take it and run with it if you like. Basically, he floated in saline tanks with light deprivation and activated his pineal gland, his third eye, so that he could communicate with the dolphins. And after that happened, he made friends with some of them, 7 in particular. And he asked them if they would come into sort of a captive environment where he could work with them. And what they did is they built a water apartment, basically in the Bahamas, Bermuda, actually. And most of this is hidden from the public because the government got involved, and it was scary because he thought they were going to take the dolphins and use them like to put bombs on ships and things like that. Because the dolphins would do anything you would ask them to do without there wouldn't be any malady in their thoughts. They wouldn't understand that you were asking them to do something bad. Does that make sense? Because they don't have any bad in their vocabulary. So anyway, he kind of put his research on hold and it went underground. But basically, it was soon realized that we would not be able to learn the dolphin language in the verbology of it. It's too complicated for our vocal cords. But the dolphins could learn English. So 3 dolphins did learn English, and they spoke in English. They operated an elevator going up and down with the water, with the air at the top. And one of the women that worked with him lived with him for a long time. And what happened is they taught John Lilly about our brain, a lot more about our brain. He was also a medical doctor. They taught him techniques that we still use today in brain surgery. He was the first one to operate on a human after what he learned from them, where they didn't anesthetize the human when they had the brain surgery. And that was the key, basically, to what the dolphins were trying to teach, is that an example would be you cannot anesthetize a dolphin. They'll just drop out. I mean, they'll just die. They'll leave their body. They won't allow it. So they're conscious all the time, I guess you would say, dolphins and whales. So they rest by putting one half of their brain to sleep and closing one eye, because they're voluntary breathers. They have to come up and breathe. Or at least that's why we say they do it. I think it's because they've evolved to be a lot closer to what we would be considered our prime contract, which would be prime creator, to be one with God. So they're already there in the sense of they don't have to sleep, in the same way that we do. They don't have to rest. They regenerate their bodies constantly. And you don't ever see a dolphin that looks like all wrinkly and old or has gray hair. You don't ever see them really aging. They're always rejuvenating themselves. And so they teach us these things. And I'm happy to pass those on to you in templates, because that's how they've given them to me. So part of what the class will be is about you really surrendering to receive the frequencies that they would like to offer to you. And then they can fine tune that for a personalized healing. And then you can continue once we show you how to do it at home. Okay. So it's not like we're asking you to become a facilitator or a healer or take this to anybody else. It's very personal. This is a class that would benefit you at a personal level, not so much at a level where if you're a healer and you're already working out in the world. It's really taking it home, to work with you. And we need that. We need time to just work with ourselves. But they have given us channeling and information really since 2008 about how they're here to work with the DNA specifically. And so I would say the word epigenetics really was coined when the dolphins came to this vibration and they were given this contract by source. And it happened in the Red Sea near Egypt in 2008. These particular dolphins received the download. And then they told me that they passed it through the waters to all of the dolphins all over the world that would choose to do it and to become experts at calibrating the human's 12-stranded DNA to help us in a very deep way, very powerful way. Isn't that cool?
Very cool. All
Yeah.
right, so that was in 2008.
That's when they first were given this opportunity to work that detailed, to change our DNA. So epigenetics now has scientifically proven that what you've been taught, and probably still are being taught at some level, is that you're bound to the DNA that you were given when you were born. That means like whatever your parents gave you and came through your grandparents, through your DNA, that's where you are, and no offense, but you're stuck there. Okay, some people have heart disease, or maybe they have propensity to have cancer or something. Who knows? All the things the doctors ask you on those questionnaires, the dolphins would say, tear it up and throw it away. All it does is create fear. Okay. So the thing that changes your DNA is your intention and your environment. Okay. And then of course, working with a highly super sentient being that's like literally a doctor in epigenetics. So they can actually change the codons. They can change the telomeres. I've seen people in just, literally an hour and a half session get up and be changed in their emotional body and even acquire a new skill, like download the mastery that's in their DNA already. From let's say maybe the last life you played the piano really well, or you were a philosopher. So they can open that up for you so that bleeds through if your higher self will agree to it. They don't do it without your permission. And then you can go and sit down and, it's an example, and all of a sudden you're playing the piano and you don't even know where that came from. So almost everybody achieves some kind of new, would be perceived to be new skill in this lifetime when they work with dolphins and whales. They bring that forward from another life when you were very much a master and enlightened in that way. And I can just give you 100 examples of people that would testify to that they're now doing things that they never thought they'd do, or didn't even have a clue that they were going to do, because they didn't know that was stored in their DNA. As the mechanism of the operating structures of all your lives is in there. Isn't that cool? And the dolphins can scan that and read it. And the word they use is they're sonogenetic experts. Okay, so it's the part of it's the sounds they make. Some of them you can hear, some of them you can't hear, but that's part of how they do it, is sonogenetics. Okay.
Very good. So 4 classes with you, about 2 hours each. That's 8 hours.
Yes.
Really full of some very dynamic information.
Yeah. You'll go away changed,
Yeah.
You'll go away from the course, and even if you don't think you can. They'll make sure of it.
I know the dolphins have been guiding me, the dolphins and the whales. That's where you and I met, Lori, at a Joan Ocean event. And I take great comfort in knowing that my life has changed from the dolphins. At points, it's hard to articulate and pinpoint exactly where, but I just know it. And I know the joy that comes from the dolphins in the physical and the etheric. We've done a lot of chakra clearings with the dolphins and all of that. And so this is beautiful. Download the mastery in your DNA. Let's ask the dolphins to assist each of us with that. I love that they're waiting for more of us to ask them to collaborate with them.
Right. They have to have your permission. So we're at this rock and a hard place where we're here going, we want help. We don't feel well. I can't do this. I can't do that, on and on. And they're over here going, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And if you can open your belief system to let them in, Abraham always says that. Are you letting it in? Are you letting it in? Are you letting it in? You got to let them in, okay? Because nothing can be done. We talked about free will. Nobody can step on your free will. Nobody can change it. You're bound to your belief systems until you say you're not. So here's Puda. She wants to say something. I'm just going to let you think of it. I don't know if everybody's hearing her, but she's saying, if you can test yourself on a daily basis, this happens here in our house every day. So when I wake up in the morning, she says, I want you to think about your part of your belief system, about where your belief system is today regarding blank. You fill in the blank. Okay, maybe it's war, maybe it's the way you structure yourself in the skill set you have in your career. Maybe it's something about your kids. Okay, but here's your belief system. Okay. And she says at the end of the night when we go to bed, she says, tell me how your belief system has altered today and you've expanded your consciousness. And you no
Mm.
longer have that old limiting belief,
Uh-huh.
because then you can change, you see. So this is for the animal's perspective on a daily basis, is let go of the old, bring in the new. And it's an ever evolving, changing thing. You're ever growing. To activate all 12 strands of DNA would be the avatar blueprint. And we can talk about that, how you were seeded through your planetary brothers and sisters 200,000 years ago to become this golden avatar being, to rise up and to claim all of the gifts, clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance, which gives you bilocation, it gives you healing, it gives you levitation, it gives you time travel, connection to anybody, anywhere in the cosmos, that you can contact them and communicate with them. And see, that's what we said. It's all about communication. If your communication skills can improve even a little bit, it's so worth it, because your guides are doing backflips to talk to you, right? They really want to communicate with you. And that can always improve because they have your best interests in mind. To think about the team of beings, just for a minute, I want you to think about that. The team, lots of beings that came to support just one person on this planet. Let's make that person you. Now think about all the beings around you that are here to support you. And are they blocked in getting their enlightenment to you, their suggestions to you? They won't take your free will away. You'll always be the one that makes the decisions. But think of all the research they can do. Think of all the healing they can give you if you'd let them in. Okay, that's powerful.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You had said that some people might not be able to shift their vibration. The dolphins are absolutely here to help us. And I would hope and expect that the masses who aren't there yet in that higher vibration will someday just surrender.
Yeah.
Just surrender and say, okay, all right, I surrender. But
Yeah.
I'm judging and we shouldn't judge. So,
Well, but it's saying you're starting to understand what she calls it metaphorically. Do you know where the gas pump is? Okay. So in the very early stages of my awakening, she would say to me, do you know where you get your energy from? And I would think, the first my comment was, well, from the food that I eat, right? And she said, yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But it's more than that. She said, you think of all the different people, all the different attitudes, all the different vibrations. If everybody would just remember where the gas pump is, that's how to put your nozzle into source energy, to connect directly to source, to prime creator, to the essence of who you are. And you fill your body. And of course, Mother Earth, because she created your physical form. So when you think of, well, I'm going to call it Mother, Father, God, when you connect to that, put your nozzle into that and you fill your gas tank, which is your body, with Mother Earth's light and prana, it never runs out. It's never going to go up in price. It's always going to be free. And you always will have unlimited prana flowing through you, which is wisdom and information and light and love and the truth of who you are. But you got to do that. And people say, well, how do you do that? It's so simple. They made it so simple. You just connect to nature and ask Mother Earth to allow that vibration to come up through your feet. And if you just go outside or even visualize the sun, that's the portal where source light comes through. And if you get those two energies in your body, you're going to feel good. You're going to heal. You're going to feel good. You're going to be empowered. And it's just going to continue to grow, because that's the process of triangulating with your mother, your father, and the seat of the soul, which is in your heart space. Okay. So the people that are acting out, negative, going to war, whatever you want to say, they don't remember how to go to the gas pump. They don't remember how to connect to source light. And we all know that we need energy to function, right? You have to have energy. So they're connecting to you or to anybody else that they can, put their gas tank and start drawing energy from you to them, because they think they're in control. This is how they're getting their energy, because they don't remember how to connect to source. They don't remember how to connect to Mother Earth. They don't even necessarily know how to connect to their own soul. So they're drawing or bleeding energy. It's like a vampire, really. And they're pulling that from you. And that's why you feel crappy when you're around them, because they're trying to get energy. We all need energy. So it's an energy war, but yet there is no war, because source is just offering it to everybody, but you got to tap in. So it's kind of a nice metaphor to remind you how easy it is to fill up your body with love and light and joy. And see, the dolphins are the masters of that. They're, millions of years of experience that they're never going to let their gas tank run dry, right? They're just going to keep filling with love and joy so they can offer it to the world. So don't you want to be like that? I do.
Fill up
With
with love and light so we can offer it to the world. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this goes out to all light workers in gratitude. Awesome. Lori, we are really excited for these courses with you. Again, 4 classes coming up. They will all be recorded. No necessary to be there live. If the recording works, it's all a beautiful program that you put together with really great information. All right, Lori, in closing, you have a video for us. So go ahead and share that with us.
Yes, it's called Dolphins in DNA. And this is a beautiful channel that I call it a signature channel because it came through just perfect word for word in the download that they gave me about when the dolphins were given permission from Source to reseed the human race and start to calibrate our DNA. And it came through the dolphins in the Red Sea in Egypt in 2008. And now they have spread this information that we're speaking of and using to all of the planetary dolphins in the physical and in the etheric. So we're going to close our beautiful session today and our workshop with letting you see the dolphins swimming through the ocean and the words that they have given to me that we're now giving to you. Okay.
The dolphins have shared with me that they are the designated keepers of the human DNA template system. They receive infusions of DNA activation through the Earth's ocean systems from Creator. It is their given task to process this information internally and calibrate the actual DNA that is perfect and right for each person. The dolphins also hold the energy of love and joy for the actual locations on the planet that are experiencing war and chaos. The dolphins work to create frequencies that are infused into these areas on the planet with templates of peace, harmony, and healing. The dolphin matrix supports DNA reencodements for people and places throughout the energy code systems they use. The Dolphin family of light has created a template for the human DNA and uses it to monitor the overall template for the pure holographic possibility equation for humanity and Earth. If you choose to connect with the planetary dolphin family, you can receive these attunements directly from the dolphin group consciousness. The dolphins are the masters of DNA recalibration and are able to shift old energies very quickly with their healing frequencies. Also, they work in a frequency of joy and playfulness that is perfectly suited to the energy of ascension and the new Earth. Beloved humans, please listen to your hearts as the energies accelerate during 2012 and beyond. Call upon the dolphin energies as they are the chosen emissaries of light. Their communications will be of valuable assistance in helping you to align with the crystalline grid system, your personal DNA upgrades, and the dolphin matrix systems that are assisting in creating the center for the new Earth. Also know that the dolphin matrix of energy is assisting with the cleansing and balancing of the Earth's oceans. Currently, many scientific experts are saying that DNA plays a powerful role in newly discovered communications between dolphins and humans. One ongoing study at the Sirius Institute in Hawaii has revealed that dolphins and whales receive and transmit sound signals capable of affecting the genetic double helix. Using natural biotechnology, dolphins can actually heal humans swimming near them sonogenetically. 14 years of multidisciplinary study at the Sirius Institute has indicated that the expression of DNA, traditionally considered the blueprint of life, can be changed by the sound and electromagnetic fields generated by dolphins. New research shows that our DNA is activated by waves and particles of energized sound and light that literally switch genes on or off. Likewise, genetic inheritance is energetically transmitted bioacoustically and electromagnetically through special water molecules that form the electrogenetic matrix of DNA. These hydroelectric structures are shaped like pyramids, hexagons, and pentagons, and they direct the healing processes. This amazing phenomenon explains how remarkable healings have been reported by people in our boats near the dolphins and by swimmers following dolphin contact. The cetaceans have had complex language for millions of years, and they have the largest brains on the planet. Visitations by dolphins and whales have demonstrated a history of friendship and cooperation, and even partnership with humans. The dolphins and whales have shown us that they are the ancient and wise, supersentient beings on this planet. They are living examples for we humans, showing us how to live in peace and in harmony with our planet. We encourage you to connect with the dolphins and the whales each and every day, energetically, telepathically, and in the physical oceans whenever you can. The dolphins and whales are the living, ultimate expression of how we humans can begin to live in our hearts within the pod mind, which is demonstrated by living for the good of the many, not the one.
Mhm. That was fun, huh? Mhm.
Oh, we can feel the energy from the sounds of those dolphins and the visuals. So incredibly beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, everyone, please join Lori Rayon in the upcoming workshop. The link to that is right here on this webpage. Registration is open. Again, you don't have to be live. If you are somewhere on the planet where that's not possible, you will still be in the beautiful vortex of energy. Lori and Puda, thank you, thank you, thank you. Any final comments as we say goodbye?
Just take this opportunity to bring that dolphin energy into your heart. And just let it come in, just open to receive. And be willing to change. Be willing to raise your vibration to a level that you've yet to experience in this lifetime. Be willing to communicate in a new way where negativity just isn't a part of your world anymore. And now let's just send that out because we know the world wants it and needs it so much. Let's just bless all beings now, unconditionally, in all places and at all times with our vast ability to love. And we thank the dolphins and thank my partner, Puda, thank Loren for this opportunity. Bless you all.
Bless you. And thank you everyone for watching. I know I'm not the only one who has seen on the green screen with Lori. You know, these green screens on Zoom, they kind of get waffly and wavy. But Lori, you had a heart appear over your head at a couple of times. And I find that fascinating. There it is.
I think that's Trinity. That's one of the white dolphins that I've been working with. And he does like to come in as a heart. So say hi to Trinity.
Oh, hi, Trinity. All right. Well, our viewers and listeners can learn more about the dolphins that Lori works with and how you too can tap into your realm of guides as the dolphins. Thank you, Lori, and thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste.